really a entire workflow of how do you automate email outreach um, uh, by doing very targeted marketing, doing a lot of account-based marketing, and more deeper dive on research, intelligent research, identifying signals about your prospects across the internet. Um, so, how do you do that uh, outreach by having those intent signals in place? And that's what Sugant is going to describe here, the workflow. So, Sugant, please go ahead and share what that workflow is on N8N and what are the different tech stacks you're being using, and then we can kind of take it from there. So you have the starting point here, and then please go ahead and share what is it that you're showing here.
Yes, sir. So here in the signal one, we get the
Sugant, I have difficulty hearing you. Can you be a little bit more louder, please? Because I'm not able to hear you.
Am I audible, sir?
Just a little bit more louder, if you don't mind.
Now, sir, am I audible?
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So here in the first signal, we have set the Apollo to find the PE firms leads. So we got the leads of the PE firms. So Alpine investors, their website and their location and all. We fetch these data using Gemini, and we pass it using JavaScript in this node. And for the signal,
just let's pause for a quick second, okay? So the first step is you've gone and identified some private equity firms, and you're using Apollo to be able to say, go into the database. Now, do you have like some sort of an API key that's asking for a logging in into Apollo, or how is that happening basically?
Sir, in Apollo, we get a error like we can only find the equity forms with the vendor capitalist forms. So we got a response like we got added leads of PE firms plus vendor capitalist. So we rejected that approach, and we approached with the Gemini approach. So we get the PE firms, so we can get the PE firms lists only. So here we used Gemini to Gemini API and search the PE firms data, sir. So we will get the only PE firms without the vendor capitalist data.
So rather than, again, the idea is that you're not just only using ChatGPT, you're trying to find richer data. And so in that process, when you're trying to find richer data, if you use third-party sources like Apollo, I think you can get a lot of that kind of base data, and then you can use ChatGPT or LLM models like Google AI to be able to further append and say whether this is a venture capital or a PE firm. Do you think that approach may have been better? Because my only concern is that if you go to Gemini directly, it might not give you that base ground data, which Apollo, like third-party tools, may have already done that groundwork. Gemini would be a great second pass to be able to say, okay, I understand when you're running a query in Apollo, it doesn't have, it's giving you both. It's giving you private equity and venture capital firms. But if you take that data and then feed it back to Gemini and say, segregate the ones that are only private equity, I think it would do a better job rather than you just saying, go find me private equity. Maybe Gemini might not get you that wider range of database here. Does that make sense, Sugant?
Yes, so that's a great idea. But we approached here because of we got the we first approached in Apollo, as you said. But we got the list of venture capitalists. So we searched the list here. It got except that this is not a private equity firm, so that is a venture capitalist. So we dropped that approach and tried with the Gemini approach, so we can get the only private equity firms here. But you were saying is good. We can people approach it and update it tomorrow.
Got it, got it. So go back to the whole process flow here. Let's look at the process flow once again. So what I would recommend is that signal that you have at Apollo private equity, rather than targeting that first step to Gemini, introduce the Apollo again. I know you might get a wider audience of private equity as well as venture capital. In order to filter that, then you feed it to something like a Gemini and say, give me a short list out of this database, only private equity firms. So now you're cleansing that. Now you've got a much more richer data set, if you will, and Google Gemini would do a great job. Okay, so that's that one change that I'd like you to do from being able to set up on your the right journey to be able to find the right target audience and intent signal. So next step now. Now, let's say you did get that Gemini, you got code in JavaScript. Can you describe what is that needed for?
Yes, sir. The first signal gave us the data in the text format here, and we have to convert the data into JSON using this node code in JavaScript. We used this node to convert our text format to the JSON format here. So we get the JSON format one by one here. So we used this.
So and you did that in order to convert that data into a JSON format, so you can then move that data into other systems that are more readable and pass it on through APIs. Is that the whole thinking?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. So let's go back now. So we figured that part. Once you got that data from Gemini, now you've got this code Java. What's the next step that you're doing here?
Yes, sir. Here's the signal 2, which is finding the portfolio companies from the from the private equity firms. So in the left side we got the private equity firms data here, and in the after running the portfolio companies research in using Gemini, we get the data of the portfolio companies here in the output.
Okay.
So it's Apex service partners and their website URL, and then much more details about that, and also other companies.
Okay, that's wonderful. So let's go back to that step. So if I'm understanding this step correctly, what you've done is now you've got the JSON format. Now you're going back. If you go back to the workflow, please.
Yes, sir.
Now you're going back and you're saying that these within these private equity firms, get us the portfolio of the companies that they've invested in, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So now this filter criteria, this is another signal, or you're drilling down to get more specificity about targeting private equity firms. Now, within that private equity firms, you're getting this portfolio companies. Are you just extracting all the portfolio companies, or are you then also adding another layer of saying, because we want to have a targeted conversation with it, private equity, home services, acquisition, and home services companies like plumbing, electrical, HVAC, are you adding that filter in the signal, or you're doing it in the next step?
Yes, so we've included the HVAC companies filter, so we did the HVAC companies list with the private equity firms. We've used it.
Okay, so you've included the HVAC. Now HVAC becomes very specific. Have you included all the services, home services like plumbing, electrical, or is it okay? You've got plumbing, mechanical contractors, home service. Fantastic. So you got that. So now what happens in this step? Now you're filtering it down more detail to the home services industry.
Yes.
That's fantastic. What's the next step that you're doing here?
We are getting the portfolio companies in the signal too, sir. So we get the companies details from the private equity firms that we have searched so far. So we're getting the companies like Apex Service Partners and the and much more companies. And so here we can see hatchback companies.
Okay, wonderful. So let's go to the next step. Now you got the portfolio companies that private equity has. What is the next step?
Yes, so here we got the data in text format, sir. So again, I am converting the text format into JSON, sir.
Got it.
And
Okay.
here we go to the fourth signal, which is expansion strategy of those companies. So in this node, we have worked on. So we worked on their strategies to expand their companies and firms. So we got the data. So this is the firms, companies, website URLs, and all. So here we got the data of their expansion strategy. So platform build and roll up. Initial concentration in Florida and the Sun Belt with aggressive expansion into the national markets. Capitalizing on highly fragmented, resistant, founder-owned residential hatchback funding, and so we got every detail of their expansion strategies here.
So that's fantastic. You picked up this whole expansion strategy from that whole script that
Yes,
I
sir.
gave you, the list of targeted
Yes,
audience and all
Yes, sir.
when you start personalizing it, right?
Yes, sir. We have picked up using those data we have bring up so far.
Okay, wonderful. So that's worked out. So in this expansion strategy that you've done, are you going and finding, how are you finding that these private companies are doing expansion for home services? How are you ascertaining that? Are you saying go to Google News or LinkedIn? Where are you finding the signal of expansion strategy?
So we are using Google with the Gemini API key, so we can find those data with the help of Google.
Oh, got you. So you're just using Google General Gemini, but you're not really giving more granular. You could use Google Gemini, and and one of the concerns I have when you just depend on one LLM or one Chat GPT, they might hallucinate or not give you the target audience. So maybe including like the actual direct sources or doing a separate one. Give me all the sources of news that or announcements that people would actually make. It could be Forbes magazine, it could be Google News, it could be LinkedIn, it could be Reddit, it could be Twitter. So I think you should have a list bunch of those, like as a separate step, if you will. Find out all the newsworthy sources, and once you collect that newsworthy sources, then in your next step, you say, okay, use Google Gemini and all these sources. So that way you're grounding your data to the LLM. So the more grounded your LLM is, the more targeted information will start surfacing, basically. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So which is a great step you've done. This is fantastic about expansion strategy. You've asked Google Gemini, so it's getting you that. But now, in order to ground the data, please add those steps or those sources also. Okay. So now you use one of the signals of grounding strategy. What are the other signals that you've added on top of it? Can you come out of this and look at that workflow or show us the workflow?
Yes, sir. After the signal 4, we extract the expansion strategy from those companies. We extract the PE decision makers using Apollo here. So here we use our previous data and extract the decision makers in the private equity firms. So we got the data of the decision makers here. So Nidhi and operating partner. So this is their role. and she's working on helping investors. So here we got the data of the decision makers from the private equity firms.
Okay. So now, since you got, I'm assuming that you're making an assumption what is a decision maker, right? This is again food for thought. Rather than just going by certain titles, add another signal or another step to say, what are some of the newsworthy, all the sources that you've gotten, like Google News and LinkedIn and Reddit and all that stuff. Say, do another step. Where have these guys mentioned the news, if you will? So that's a close assumption. The guy announcing is kind of involved in that activity, because private equity can be very large. If you just go at a general level, maybe at a CEO level, that CEO might not really be handling that portfolio company. There would be somebody else that's got a vested interest. It's almost like an incubator, right? So there might be another person that's maybe head of digital marketing or head of VP engineering that has actually made that announcement in that news. And then you're picking up that particular person. Now that's a bingo identification of your target audience, where you're saying, go and find me any newsworthy items and then pull out all the information of that newsworthy names and then associate that with the right contact that we should be speaking to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And also have the key decision makers. It could be CEO, CMO, blah, 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 where we can then, when we're sending out a communication, we're approaching the head of department or marketing director, if you will. Then you say, hey, I spoke to or I connected with your CEO and he said you might be the right person. So it's good to have those 2-3 contacts, but the contact that was actually in the news, you prioritize it, you flag it as the key contact for communication to be had and to have that kind of a conversation and messaging. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So here is the titles that we have used to pull out their persons, managing partner, principal, investment director, operating partner. So Ramya helped me here for searching the fetch the private equity firms and this, and I configured the Gemini I think once here, and she helped me to find the private equity firms data and helped me to fetch those data and companies with here. So me and her will work this together and
धीरे बोल भाई.
bring
Okay.
up senses.
Got it. No, so that's great. You're doing like a tag teaming. That's always helpful, right? You're helping each other and you're creating that kind of culture. So it helps a lot. Two brains are better than one always, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's look at some other. So you've got that. Now you've been able to now get to that person. What's the next thing that you're doing? Again, you're converting into the JavaScript.
Sanjay, Ramya wanted to ask some question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, in Apollo Decision Makers in Signal 5, you have mentioned to get managing partner, principal, investment director, and operating partner from the PE decision maker, PE firms. Do we need to include this or just get the decision makers from the news announcement?
You include this and plus the guys who have actually come in the news for that particular company, for that portfolio company, basically, right? It's
Okay,
not
sir.
just only the private equity firm. Who is the person that's actually talking about an HVAC company or a plumbing company? Because that's our contact. Because when you think about it, when you're doing an outreach, right? You say, hey, I heard that you made this announcement about Reunity. Say I'm a private company. Volvo is a private company that deals with home services, and Reunity is one of the home services company that I bought, right? So let's say I am reporting to Volvo, the parent company, private equity firm, and then I'm saying, I'm coming in the news. Maybe I'm the head of director of VP of engineering, let's say, right? So what I would say is that anybody that is coming in the news, it could be a VP of engineering, it could be marketing director, whoever it is, grab their name because those are worthy conversations. So it could be possible that we might talk to a VP of engineering of Reunity, and there could be a VP of head of marketing for Reunity also is coming in the news. Whoever is coming forefront in the news, the likelihood is they are decision makers. The likelihood is they understand, they own that portfolio, they have something to do with it. Otherwise, why would they be talking about everybody's got vested interest, right? Why would they just go out there and just say, hey, Reunity?
That's brilliant.
So anybody that any news mentioned now, as a matter of fact, you should do a separate signal altogether. Go find me all the news worthy for Reunity and pull out all the guys' names there. And once you've got that names, then you attach it to this master list. And with that names, you also attach the link of that news, the source news where you found this name. So when an email goes out, say, I got your information from so-and-so article, and you mention that you're trying to expand or add more employees to Reunity, right? Now it becomes a highly personalized, highly focused conversation. And there's nothing better than, trying to acknowledge somebody's presence. The fact they've come in media and you've gone and taken that trouble to read about them and talk about them, it becomes highly, highly personalized. And that's the kind of conversation that we are looking to have, that spot on personalization. That's the whole intent of this whole technology. Because sometimes we might get lost in the sauce of doing parsing, Google AI. We as tech guys might just get excited. Oh, I plug this and I plug that. But we forget the focus of the outcome. Why are we doing all of this stuff to begin with? In a simple, short statement, GTM Engineering, the outcome should be is highly personalized conversation, one-on-one conversations to be had that are very relevant to what they're doing, whether it may be expansion, whether it may be hiring, whether they're really trying to look at a problem statement that they're trying to resolve. So it's very personalized. So when you start a conversation with that kind of context, your outcomes are going to be off the roof. That's the whole idea of doing all of the GTM engineering. So when you're coming up with tech stacks, coming up with different steps, you have to think from that standpoint and that point of view. That point of view will guide you to this whole roadmap, if that makes sense.
Okay, sir. And in Signal 5, it is mentioned as PE decision makers. And in Signal 6, it is mentioned as portfolio company leadership. For Signal 5, do we need to get private equity firms decision makers, or that is also about the portfolio companies?
Excellent question, Rami. I love that question. Spot on. In the private equity firm at the mothership, get the main 2-3 decision makers, right? And because finally we're wanting to go after those home services company, because AI can help a lot in the home services. So in the portfolio company is you go, and once you get that portfolio company name, then you do another signal, find out all the newsworthy, wherever they came on news. And within that news, who mentioned what is that next step, if you will, to be able to get the portfolio company. So for the parent company, just do a basic, whatever the decision maker, just make an assumption. I would think in portfolio companies, like in the main parent company also, you should again go by news, I would imagine. Like within that private equity firm, go and do a first pass of all the news of that particular company, basically. And whoever is coming in the forefront within the mothership private equity, they're the decision maker. It's not always the CEO, because CEO might be busy, and just going and sending an email might be. I mean, you could still get some primary CEO or whatever, CMO, and the three things, but in order to call it more decision maker, because you want to start scoring those contacts. You want to start scoring who's the highest, who's the most active in the mothership company, and who's the most active in the portfolio company. So I would say first you do just a general broad pass of 3 contacts, but then you do a private equity news, list it as in the news, and then you list, you do a search of that portfolio company, then you signal it as a high priority. And it's very important from a scoring perspective, because there will come a point in time when you have this data, you have this rich data that's based on signals. So when it comes into a CRM and I want to do an outreach, this logic, this inbuilt thought process is going to become super valuable, because they'll start becoming filters for someone to do an outreach through these intent signals, basically.
Okay, sir.
Sanjay, probably another follow-up question on top of this. So what is the ratio of decision makers always being in front of press? So would it always be the case?
Is your question like what are the chances that typically
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
who's coming in news
Is always a decision maker?
It's an assumption right now. It's just an assumption framework. Why is the assumption? Because like I said, if that guy has nothing to do with that division, why would he be the guy who's going and giving the breaking news?
Makes sense. Perfect.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just there are some assumptions, and we might be wrong, and obviously we can dig more deeper into it and change our primary business assumptions, if you will. But at least let's see what the outcome, and let the numbers dictate, right? Then we can do A and B testing of saying, we just sent out a email to a CEO or a vice president at the top level, no filters, no signals. And then we sent it to these news guys and see what the outcome and the response is, and let those stats be able to monitor that. So me as a salesperson within the organization saying, oh, I see the correlation. Just sending out emails to anybody at the top and this guy on the news is making more sense. And obviously we're going to find more and more signals as we start attaching this journey out here. But that's the frame of thinking here.
Sure. Makes perfect sense.
Next, can we see the other signals here, please?
Yes, sir. So in the Sigma 5, we get the decision makers here, sir. So after we get the decision makers from Apollo, we are enriching their data to get their LinkedIn URL, sir. LinkedIn URL and mobile number and their every details here. So this is the previous node. This don't have any LinkedIn URL or any contact or mail ID. So we have enriched the data in using Flow. So we got their LinkedIn ID and mobile number also. We got every detail of their contact from Flow using enrichment.
Since you're enriching the LinkedIn URL, maybe we can go even further, almost like wear a detective hat, if you will. When you looked at a LinkedIn URL, maybe going further of the comments or the compliments they may have received, and it might require a little bit more deeper thinking, but maybe they're doing a lot of posts. Go and do another pass of the posts. Are they really talking about home services? That's another score that gets added to the custom intent signals, basically. So always sniff signals about, is this person going to be my right contact? Even though the guy came in the news, like say you had 5 people talking in that company in the news, But within that 5 people through the LinkedIn, if you can go and read the post that this person has done amongst those 5 people, and within those 5 people, whoever is talking about home services is bang on our target audience, then we don't need to speculate if he's the right person or not, because somebody who's gone that further would be another custom intent signal, basically. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Akash, any thoughts on that?
Makes perfect sense, Sanjay.
Okay, this is good. These are great steps. So now you go and enrich the other data. What do you do with that data once you get that LinkedIn data?
So far we have made this enrichment here, and we'll get their LinkedIn and mobile number and email, and we'll start sending emails to them and send connection requests to them and SMS, and we'll start outreaching to these leads. But we
Let's pause there. Let's pause. You said a very powerful thing. You're sending them a connection request. Now, is that connection request coming from me as a salesperson? Let's say I'm logged into my CRM, and from a user interface perspective, as soon as I come at this stage, is it going out from my box a connection request?
Yes, sir. If you share, if you log in using your credentials, we can send the connection requests and messages from your LinkedIn account, sir.
But that's not happening right now, right? So me as a user, I have to be logged in. So what I would do is authentication of LinkedIn for this specific user. So what I would say is that whenever we're developing a workflow, don't just develop a workflow from a business outcome perspective. Think at an organizational level, think at a user level, think at a SaaS level, that I've got multiple people that can use this tool. So if I want to be able to customize it for my private set of contacts, I should be able to take this logic and use it in a multi-tenant and in a SaaS environment, if that makes sense, which means that you need to do authentication at that step of my user ID, my login, and then be able to send out a connection request. Does that make sense? And within that, now when you're sending a outreach, this becomes super critical and important, that when you're sending out a connection request, what is that initial, when you're sending an invite, what is that invite? What is that AI? So you have to inject another AI step of saying, hey, I saw you on the news. You're looking at home services. Would love to have a chat and connect with you. We help organizations that are focused on private equity and home improvement, would love to connect. So imagine when you give that kind of a request, now your request connection goes off the chart. That making sense? This is a super, super critical step and a very important step for you to understand and the team to understand this enough.
Yes, sir, we understand it, sir. But this workflow doesn't get you to the LinkedIn connection request. But we've been exploring and working on OpenClaw to make that possible. So if we get this data from this workflow, and we'll move the private equity firms and the decision makers leads data to database or CRM or maybe Google Sheets, and we'll get that data using OpenClaw, and we'll send connection requests and emails and SMS. We'll automate it using OpenClaw.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. And then, you know, I want you to get connected to our CRM team that we're building that entire SaaS multi-tenant, coordinate with OpenClaw that will do OAuth authorization, will be able to validate in the CRM that we're building. So that way they're able to track the history of how many connection requests went out, how many are left, all that kind of good stuff. And then there's a limit of how many connections me as an individual can send out on a daily basis. So it's super important, not just using OpenClaw, but also integrating that with the CRM that we're establishing. and our CRM team understand what we're doing here, basically.
Yes, sir. We've been exploring it all. I saw that we can send 25 to 30 connection requests per day using automated because we can get banned from the LinkedIn if we send over connection requests per day. And we will configure it soon and make it possible. And we can also get alert messages every day or once 6 hours or 12 hours. We set a daily alert in OpenClaw so that we can acknowledge we can get the acknowledge of how many LinkedIn connections requests are sent, how many have they responded, how many emails are sent out. That much details we can get using OpenClaw.
I love this thinking, Sugandh. Kudos to you. I'm really excited of how you guys have now started thinking about the mind map, the journey, and how this can almost go into a product life. And I'm about to share something very exciting after this call to you guys also. This is a product offering that we're looking to launch called LinkedIn Outreach. And this is along the exact same lines that I want to mature this GTM engineering while we're doing it, while we're drinking our own Kool-Aid, keeping in mind that we're going to spin off a lot of these micro-SaaS. So what we're discussing here is the birth of LinkedIn Outreach tool that a lot of people would love to be able to use it, but we need to package it in such a way that it's in a SaaS environment. It's got AI, it's got agentic AI involved in it. So to me as a user, all I need to see is filter out my intent signals, custom intent signals, and then be able to send out this outreach so that I have maximum amount of productivity that is being done. So what you just said about like we can acknowledge the receipt, that thought process can go dig a little bit more deeper. You use OpenClaw as a computer use agent, and that OpenClaw now can go in and then follow up and start doing communication response. Almost that's the whole idea of computer use agent, is almost replacing the day-to-day mundane activities that I would do as a user on my computer. Now with the advent of OpenClaw, you can make the OpenClaw become that communicator with the person, whoever is responded. So you start drilling down a little bit more. If you get 50 acknowledgements, out of that 50, how many people responded or showed interest? That's one. Then the second step is now they showed interest. Now you start communicating with them. So you have that like 10 touch points or 5 touch points. What is that communication objective of that? Is that to book a calendar? Is to send them a free AI auditing course, or give them a free booklet to take them to the next level step? Is the part of this journey of this LinkedIn outreach. I'm going to pause here. Is that making sense, Sugandh, what I just shared here?
Yes, sir, it makes absolute sense. After we get the acknowledgement, we can use OpenClaw to send automated replies based on their replies, so we can follow up from them using OpenClaw. And we can also lead them to book a calendar meeting with us, or we can solve their queries in the messages, and we can also book a call with us in the booked date. So we know this also worked in the call booking using the retail AI. So we have achieved the workflow of making a call using retail AI, and the AI assistant will speak to us. And if we say calendar date to book an appointment with us, it will automatically create an event using calendar, and the lead and the client also will get a confirmation in their mail of that particular date that we booked a call. So that workflow is already achieved by Vinod. And we will also achieve it using OpenClaw for LinkedIn outreach, email outreach, and SMS outreach.
Excellent, excellent. So I see you've got more signals that you're adding on, and we can certainly continue this conversation more and more deeper. What I'd like to do is maybe do a break, or can you go through other signals quickly? What are the other signals that you have?
Yes. So after we enrich their LinkedIn mobile number and the email addresses, so again I converted the text formatted into the JSON. After we filter out the portfolio leaderships in those PE companies. So we got the.
I think your voice is breaking, Sugan. So okay, so you got the leadership data, right? And then what next?
Now am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So we got the a portfolio leadership lead lists here, sir. Using we have fetched these details using Apollo. So here I got this. Here we got this lists, sir. So VP of Operations, and the organization is Apex Service Partners.
And is Apex Service Partners the mother private equity firm, and or is it that?
So come again, sir. You was breaking.
Is it
Sir,
the
it's
whole
a portfolio
or is it the
company.
private equity firm?
It's a portfolio company from Appline Investors.
Got it. Okay, it's a portfolio company. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the next step. So now you got the data. What are you doing next then?
So here we also enrich the leadership, portfolio leadership's data. We'll enrich those data with the help of Apollo, and we'll also get their LinkedIn URL and mobile number and email address. And,
Okay, I got that. That's understood. Let's go next.
yes, yes.
You're enriching the data. What else are you doing?
And in Signal 7, we are getting the department headcount of those organizations, sir. So in Apex Service Partners, let me show the headcount.
So you're basically trying to find out how large that department is, basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. Excellent. Let's move through the quick signals or the filters here.
Yes,
Let's go next.
Here's the department headcount of the Apex Service Partners organization, sir. So information technology, resources, operations. So every headcount we fetched using Apollo.
Okay. Let's come out of that. Next.
So also converted the into JSON filter. So for next, I've extracted the market fragmentation of those portfolio companies here, sir, using Gemini, and we got the text here, sir. So the fragmentation score is 9, and the top 10 market share PCT is less than 10, and the
So let's discuss this fragmentation score, right? Of a market segment. What does it entail? What does it get me as a signal as a fragmentation markets fragmentation? What does it mean? Can you elaborate on that?
So fragmentation means how the company, how the organizations are performing, how the companies are performing very low out of the comparing to the other organizations, sir. So we are extracting those data.
So within that fragmentation score, if it's a 9 score, that means those companies are poorly performing. That means those are great geo targets to go after. Is that the thinking?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, that's excellent, because what we're doing through this fragmentation is really drilling down on the market, the pain point at a geographic level. So wherever there's pain, obviously you're providing the solution. So it's a great way to go about using market fragmentation. Excellent. Okay, next.
Yes, sir. So in the signal line, we get the market growth drivers here, sir, for the.
So in this signal, what are we doing?
So it is a market growth drivers, sir.
So, and what would that be like? Market growth drivers. What does that entail?
So let me fetch the data set. It is it's we got the data. So so we get the information of the growth drivers from those companies. So we got the details here. So
Are there any specific filters where you define as a market growth driver?
yes, sir, we have used these filters. So identify top views, HVAC market growth drivers for 2024 to 2025, and it's like so identify growth drivers covering IRA Act energy efficiency regulations and climate changing driving AC demand and aging US housing stock, and then smart home IoT adoption, and then labor shortages driving automation. So he used some of these filters to filter out the
So the market
drivers.
growth strategy is really in going after geographic where maybe they've got some government incentives to be able to do more in the energy sector or more consumption of heat or AI data centers are happening. Is that what we're doing in market growth drivers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. That's excellent. Okay, next.
Yes. So here we extract the competitive landscape of those companies using Apollo. So it's,
So you're getting the competitors' data of saying these
yes,
are
sir.
competitors that are working. So it might be a great conversation starter of saying your competition is doing so and so. We'd love to be able to help you.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
excellent. Next.
we
Sorry,
got
go ahead.
those, competitors. Yes.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So here we fetched the pain point analysis of those companies. So we've me and Mummy have worked with so we've worked this far, and we have connected 10 signals 10 signals so far, and we will be adding those changes that you've said right now, and we will configure the 20 signals.
So excellent. I feel very confident the direction that you guys are taking. You've understood the framework. You're kind of looking at like that 20 signal framework for being able to identify private equity firms and what are the different targeted signals that you have to go to have a meaningful conversation, which allows us to literally cut through all the noise that's happening and really provide that kind of customized solution. Once this is done, this framework is done. And we could use this similar framework for many industries, maybe for nonprofit, all the different base ground, whether it's a market growth or, like it might be in the case of a nonprofit, those similar signal frameworks, custom intent signal frameworks would work out really fantastically well. I'm really, really happy with what is being demonstrated out here. What I'd like to be able to do is, I know we were expecting the call to be shorter, but I'll wrap up this call, but I want to share some good news and I want to, I don't know, is Akash there? Can you see if Akash can join us? Maybe if he's not there, we can have a follow-up call, but yeah, let's do a follow-up call. And I have some.
Yes, Akash is there, sir.
Is he joined? I don't think he's joined us or something like that.
How is this time, sir? That's
Just Suleiman, thank you for joining. And Vinod, I think both of you guys are doing more on the outreach through Rightel, right? Suleiman, you're involved with Vinod on Rightel? Suleiman, I think you're on mute. Yeah, go ahead, Suleiman.
Yes, sir. I've been working on with Rightel as well as I'm working on the LinkedIn outreach. So I'm exploring that as well.
Oh, so you're doing the LinkedIn outreach. So whatever I described on that LinkedIn outreach in terms of to be able to add communication, use OpenCloud to be able to respond in a very AI manner, you know, all that also you're taking into consideration, or you're going to incorporate that after this, what we've discussed?
Yes, sir. We we are taking the consideration. We will be integrating it.
Yeah. The other thing is that, you know, LinkedIn outreach will become a venture by itself. It will become a micro-SaaS in itself. So you can start adding more and more features about think about like me as a salesperson that wants to do LinkedIn outreach, what will be really helpful and beneficial for me, and what will make my life a lot more powerful and 10x to be able to do outreach. One of the things is also you'd like to see and look into, and we'll create some task and different sprint sessions as we're building the product, is to look at some competitor products of doing LinkedIn posting, trying to find out which are the topics that are really trending, and empowering me as a salesperson in that LinkedIn outreach to be able to look at the posts that are trending and then getting maximum likes, and how do I kind of identify those posts and be able to make posts by using agentic AI and Outlaw and things of that. Is that making sense, Lamont?
Yes, sir.
If somebody can kind of call, let Ajay sort of come in and request. Oh, there. Oh, sorry. Hey, Akash, I wanted
Sorry,
I wanted you to be there before I make this announcement, and I want to appreciate the team of what they've done. This is absolutely phenomenal work. All the steps, whatever I discussed, I feel like now we're like almost dancing with each other. Like last night, we created all this 20 signals, and seeing it being implemented just makes me super proud and happy with what you guys are doing. So I wanted to let this team also know about the incubator that we spoke about. I've got a whole plan that I've actually drawn, and I'm going to share that with the team here. And you can do the other part of incentivizing this team, and as well as the product engineering. But I have a whole diagram here that I've created that I'd like to share with the team here and give them this exciting news. Is that okay, Akash?
Yes, sir. Please do the honors.
So this is our vision here, guys, that I want to share with you guys. Let me go here. Can you guys see my screen?
yes, sir.
So here, as you can see, there's incubators, like there's a holding company concept that we have. And I want to announce that we're also just like how we got Cloud Tribes as a media channel, if you will, that we're showcasing on the computer or doing a lot of media work, if you will. We're also announcing entrepreneurfire.com, and I'll get into it a little bit, and then Adopal. So Adopal AI, Cloud Tribes, Entrepreneur Fire is going to be a holding company. And what we're looking to do is start an incubator of different SaaS products and services. Okay. So the three companies will be the holding company out here that will spin off a lot of startups basically. And one of the things that you may have heard that we were talking quite a bit, LinkedIn outreach. We're going to spin this off as a separate company, and all the different tools that we're doing will start becoming micro-SaaS companies. There'll be a social listening. That's another tool that we'll launch. Social posting, where you can post, where Satya is doing a lot of videos and things of that, and a lot of content that's being done. How do you distribute to all the different social platforms? That will become a standalone SaaS company, micro SaaS company in itself. Then look at verticalized industry, real estate, AI, look at AI consulting, look at AI coaching. All these companies will be spun off as an incubator, and at the top we're the holding company, and we will provide all the management expertise. These holding companies up here, Adopal, AI, Cloud Tribes, and Entrepreneur Fire, will provide a lot of management structure to that organization. So all of you that have an aspiration to be being a part of a startup company and also owning a piece of the company, where you will end up, as you start progressing, you show skill set that you can develop a product, or you can lead a team of GTM engineering in these different organizations. You can become an equity holder in this company. We want to partner up with guys that have the fire, that have the hunger to grow. So you can say, hey, I want to be at some day, maybe I want to be the CEO of LinkedIn Outreach, or someday I want to be the product engineering head of this LinkedIn Outreach company, and I'd like to have a equity stake in this company, where you're owning a piece of that company, almost like stock options in that company. So you have an opportunity not just to come in here and work every day, just do your job, but to rise to the top and start owning a piece of the company, whatever company that you come up with some ideations and thought process and stuff like that. And here, as you can see, we've thought through quite a bit. There'll be group of CEOs that are there. From a VP engineering, you might be a part of our holding company, or you might be a CEO here at one of the startups from a product or a service company out here. Entrepreneur Fire is going to be a channel. Our goal someday, and I don't think that's going to be too far-fetched, to think about getting guys like Elon Musk on our channel about Entrepreneur Fire, just like how it says. It's going to be a channel to interview a lot of startup guys and ask about their background, their history, what made them who they are, their journey. So that's what it's going to be, jam-packed with all the startup Silicon Valley guys and people that have built AI companies. So you could be a part, you could be showcased on that Entrepreneur Fire channel once you start branching yourself off at senior positions. I'm going to pause here, and I'd let Akash kind of have a few kind words to be able to say of what is being shared out here. And before I pass the baton to Akash, I want to thank Akash's support, his association, everything what we've been doing together. I'm absolutely excited to embark the journey with Akash, but I'd like him to kind of have few words to address to the team here about the vision and what he's looking for. And I think I want him to sort of announce some of the goodies that are on the way here. Give him that opportunity to be able to announce those goodies that are there for you guys.
Sure. Thank you very much, Sanjay. We've been discussing quite a lot of interesting things, and team, I will make this really clear. As a organization that started somewhere around 2016, we are in a decent position right now, but there is a huge market to grasp. In the past, we have invested a good amount in sales and marketing, but we couldn't able to yield results. But GTM engineering going forward, right? Sales as an engineering process is the go-to approach. We're going to approach it really, really precise in the right way. Going forward, everyone will be responsible for one particular division. That is essentially, we are planning to spin off CEOs within the organization, heading up separate departments. And we'll be going forward supporting, enriching every one of you. Probably Satya can take up the print and publicity area, and he would be the core manager of everything. And Sugan can pick up lead generation. Vinod can pick up voice processing. So, which is essentially we are creating CEOs within the organization. So that's the whole idea. And we are planning up to spin off one global entity that's responsible for each and every process. And on the other hand, what we essentially do is to support, enrich each and every one of you to be successful. Essentially, as a team, we all will be successful, right? And as a good news, probably we'll announce with Sanjay as well that we are planning for a trip, an onshore trip by this year end. That's a promise from our side to one star performer from the GTM Engineering Group.
So you'll have an opportunity. Maybe we haven't really decided on a destination, but we're discussing quite a bit about Middle East. I know things are different there, but Dubai was one that was coming to my mind as you know, you get an opportunity to go. Yeah, Dubai is a great place for you to basically go with your family, or Singapore, more of the closing neighboring country, if you will. So whoever that is selected rockstar performer will get that opportunity. And I want to set the stage that people who do not get that prize at the end of the year doesn't mean that you're not a performer. You have many other opportunities to get involved in other companies, startup companies, and grow yourself and enrich yourself. So just because you might not get that prize of going to Dubai, but there'll be other initiatives from our side as we grow a holding group of holding companies. There'll be other initiatives that we will give you guys, will impart with you guys. So don't feel demotivated. I would say that, you know, there's a great saying in the Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna says, don't focus on the fruits, just do your duty. If you can have that attitude, you will go a long way. And as we all get to know each other, we'll share, this is the exact principle that we've lived by wherever we've come in our lives. No matter how many failures we may have seen in our lives, we've just continued to go forward, move forward. So have that mantra, have that goal in your life, that do the best you can. And I feel very excited that, you know, you guys have sort of come here today. What you've shown me, my trust and faith in you guys has literally gone off the roof. I feel that you guys have so much of talent, so much of intelligence, that it's not far where you can start taking senior positions in one of these ventures out here.
That's picture perfect.
That's all. Does maybe quickly, if you guys can kind of come on the camera and just give a 30 seconds, just a 30 seconds, so we can wrap this up. And because we are going to publish this to all the audience and all the other folks in our organization. Sugandh, what are your thoughts of what we just shared here? If you can come on camera, just 30 seconds. What do you think about it? And please be loud enough, like loud enough in the sense that you're being mad at somebody, or, you know, I need that power, I need that energy.
Yes, sir. I've been excited to work on the GTM engineering team, and it's a great journey to work with this team. And I hope to be the star person to get the opportunity to travel in that tour.
To Dubai. So you're excited about that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Suleiman, what are your thoughts on what you just heard here? I think you're on mute, Suleiman. Do you wanna quickly come on camera for a quick second?
Yes, sir. Mm. Yes, I too am excited for experiencing and going forward with uh, working towards uh, the working towards the uh, things that were discussed on, and I do am excited to work as part of the team. I do am excited because it was revolutionary. So yeah, I too am excited.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much of opportunity in the AI space, and I want to encourage all of you guys, please, take never in my life, in my entire work history or business life, I've seen the kind of opportunity that's on hand. So I want all of you guys to sort of benefit from it. So thank you so much, Suleiman, for being a part of our team. Ramya, do you want to quickly come on, have 30 seconds here?
Yes, sir. And I'm very excited about that opportunity, and I'll try my level best to for the GTM engineering group. And I'm very excited about the discussions we had now, and I will implement. And me and Sukant will implement the alterations you said about the workflows. That's also.
Absolutely, Ramya and Sugandh. I must say, what you guys are doing is already founding the core foundation for a LinkedIn outreach as a micro-SaaS. So I see both of you guys probably might end up taking a very senior role in spearheading that LinkedIn outreach. And also, Suleiman and Vinod, the fact you're already doing LinkedIn outreach, most probably you might be doing a separate company spin-off and where you would be leading a more senior role out there. So thank you. Vinod,
Thank you, sir.
your thoughts? You want to quickly turn? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am very excited to working with us, and I will try to support. Sir, I am audible now.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Vinod. Yes.
Yes, sir. I am very excited, and I am very excited with working with us, and I will try to give my best. And I think it is a great opportunity for me. This is my first project, so I am very excited to working with us.
Absolutely. This is not going to be a first and the last. There are many more to come. And plus, for you to grow into more senior leadership roles within the spin-offs, the incubators that we're thinking of. Thank you. Thank you, Vinod. Satya, I know you've been doing a lot of video. You're a you're a rock star already, man. You got like what 40 videos out of 1 hour. So now you're going to create the best moments of the clips out here and just kind of launch it, because the things that you're touching upon is going to be touching in many ventures that we have. I hope you understand the importance and the powerful position that you're in here, Satya. I think you're on mute, Satya. We cannot hear you.
Thank you, sir. I will take ownership of the social posting. I excited to work with the GTM Engineering companies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, since you already figured out the machine, a content machine and production, you can do 40 videos and things like that. Work closely with Sugandh and Ramya of maybe there'll be a separate spin-off. Not maybe, there will be a separate spin-off of social posting, basically. That will be a product, that will be a company. So you can take all that content and work with all the technical guys, not just GTM Engineering, with everybody within the organization, seek help, go out there and show initiative. Like, how do I really make this thing go viral? I want to see a lot of views happen. Help me out here, guys. And if nobody's helping you, please come back to us. We'll make it happen for you.
Okay, thanks.
And that's going to be a part of our approach in the incubator process. Whoever comes and joins us, giving them this kind of opportunity. You don't have to be just only technical in nature with the AI industry. You just have to have the right spirit and the right attitude and the right fire, the entrepreneur fire in you, and we're here to support you to take off, basically. Okay, that's all for today, guys. We're excited. We'll continue this conversation. Thank you so much for all your contribution.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.